And unfortunately, I think guys learn that the hard way, and then they have this huge identity crisis. And I hate to say it, I think that's a big reason why we lose a lot of guys to suicide. So the fact that you have that awareness, and hopefully more people even listening, like reflect on that, because if you were to, whatever you're pursuing, whatever you're trying to conquer right now, if you were to remove that tomorrow, what do the other aspects of your life look like? And hopefully they're good to go and they're green, but if that check engine light is on and they're yellow, like put some more time into that, because like you said, those other things in the last minute of your life, that shit won't matter.
No, it won't. I think, I've talked about this a little bit on the podcast, which is I think that military guys, they continue to have an existential crisis because their identity is completely tied into their job. I have more familiarization with the soft community, but it happens whether you're in the Marine Corps, the Army, or regardless of service. But definitively, my peer group, they get tied into this identity, like Green Beret, right? It's like, but that's a fucking hat, dude. That's not you. Like, it's not who you are. That's your profession. As you're transitioning into your civilian life, they're going through this existential crisis, which, by the way, I mean, this is not new. This is, 2,500 years old as far as like, what's the meaning of life? Why am I here? These are the most weighted thoughts that we're going to either feel or have, whether or not you're cognitively or intellectually able to diagnose this and then ultimately go forward and then solve the problem. You're still going through an existential crisis. And, definitively, like SEALs, Green Berets, Delta Force guys, or whomever, when they get out, there will be a time, and not only there will be, but if they don't solve that before they get out, they're going to have a fucking problem. They will, 100%.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day, and I think for me, the two things that you need to feel almost immediately is you need to find a new purpose, and hopefully family's part of that, right? Like, that's a great purpose, but awesome. I feel like we're dudes that just want to conquer things. Like, find a new thing that occupies that part of you that needs to kind of chase things,
right?
And then find community again. You know what I mean? Like, if it's your local church, I mean, shit, join a beer league softball team, like whatever it is to get you around people again.
Cornhole.
Yeah, whatever.
Who cares?
You know what I mean? Like, don't think you have to find, just get back in the mix and find a group of people who you can relate to. And you know how a lot of guys just isolate, right? And they just suffer in silence. And it's like, just get out there, man. And you're not going to find the same community probably ever again, but you can find a lot of good people. It'll just be different, but it's still community, and it's, purpose too is so critical.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of starting a business, because you also get to build your own tribe around a business. And once again, I'll put out the disclaimer, which is it's not for everybody. So don't take this as like, I'm going to go start this so I can build my own culture. I think for a lot of entrepreneurs, this solves a problem because you're building a culture and a commitment to a mission around your principles, your values, and you can attract other people into your orbit and build your own universe, and essentially, and that helps. I think one of the big reasons why we collectively at Black Rifle do some of the things we do, so we go out and like people can see us, like we're going out, jumping, or we're going out and shooting long range, or we're going out and we're shooting archery, and we're doing all these different things because I'm trying to get the community to get turned on to these different tribes. And it might, like jumping might not be your thing. Okay, that's fine. Archery might not be your thing. Okay, that's fine. Long range precision, that's fine. But fucking find something.
Yeah.
Like it could be, and I was trying to have this conversation with the guy the other day because he was struggling. And I was like, what do you like to do? What did you like to do when you were a kid? He's like, oh man, I really like to draw. I was like, well, you should fucking take art lessons and start painting. Like MacArthur was a painter.
Okay.
Patton was a fucking painter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Churchill was a painter. Like Eisenhower was a painter. They were all painters. They would paint for an active form of meditation. And I was like telling him this. And he's like, really? Like, yeah, man. Like, there's some really badass motherfuckers. Just because it's not perceived today socially as something that badasses do doesn't mean alpha, that you can't do it, right? Mm-hmm. And make it badass. Yeah. Like, make it something that's yours. And who the fuck cares? If you like it and nobody else does, it doesn't fucking matter. Who cares?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So what's next for Born Primitive, man?